startup organization to collaborate at international level, so just the national and neither the regional level sometimes is useful. I mean, we should go to the international one to address common challenges and promote favorable regulatory environment. Outcomes, it has been influential in shaping international discussion on startup-related topics. Again, in Europe, European Startup Network Alliance, founded in 2016, ESNA has the previous two, has learned the value of collaboration among European startup support organizations, and the lesson includes the importance of harmonizing policies and sharing best practices. ESNA has worked on policy initiatives to promote entrepreneurship, access to finance, and internationalization for startups in Europe. Going now to in Africa. Now we are moving in Africa. We have a case in Ghana. Meltwater Entrepreneurial School of Technology, founded in 2008. Represent a best practice or good practices in entrepreneurial education and mentorship. They run a full 2-year program that teach future entrepreneurs the technical and business skills. Let's remember what I said before about how it's important to have these skills from the beginning. Also, is something that in the past we didn't learn at school. I didn't learn in my study. So it's something that this incubator is doing, a full program to give this knowledge. They run, they also give seed funding to some startup they choose, making sure that the people who finish the program have also they need to make so they help them to realize their own idea. Outcomes has trained over 400 entrepreneurs from across Africa, so it's not just really in Ghana. Of course, we have Nigeria with a Co-Creation Hub, founded in 2010. Co-Creation Hub experience emphasized the importance of community engagement and creating a collaborative space for startups to thrive. As facilitator also the growth of Nigerian tech ecosystem. And then we have South Africa with Air Labs funded in 2008. Air Labs focus on a social entrepreneurship and community upliftment, has led to development of solutions that address pressing social issues. So it's an incubator which is specific for startups related to social issues, such as youth unemployment and substance abuse. Outcomes Relapse has incubated over 70 startups and trained thousands of community members in digital skills. In Kenya, we have NAILAB, founded in 2011, has demonstrated the importance of fostering a culture of innovation and experimentation. NAILAB has incubated more than 60 startups. These startups have contributed to job creation, technological advancement in Kenya. Now, going to the conclusion of my presentation. So with this lesson learned, with these case studies, and taking account definition and how important is the role of business incubator, we would like to see together with you some aspects. So we have spoken about incubations process. So incubation extend offers mixed support to entrepreneurs. So we are speaking about the process of incubation. This one help the entrepreneur, so have a specific target group entrepreneur, startup, early stage internship, with and help them, and they are helping the society with, of course, creation of jobs within the incubator environment. Then we have the post-incubation phases, where the companies and startups that they graduated reach maturity, and they are shifting into the broader local market. So they are bringing a new, for example, service in the market. And then there is the extension phase, so the last process, when the graduated company expand, and all these processes together have a positive impact on the economic development of the society. So these multifaceted outcomes all work together to help the economy grow and become more diverse, and can offer also alternative source of livelihood activities. So this is just to see how each phase on the incubation process can bring positive in the social and economic, positive social and economic impact on the environment and in the local community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We can do more than that. Thank you, Louisa, for your presentation.
Thank you.
I think if there are questions, suggestions, we can take them from the floor for Louisa to attend to them. Hello. If we listen to the lecture, the presentation made by Louisa, if we have questions, we can have the questions so that she can address them. Thank you.
Okay. In the absence of any, I assume we want to appreciate Luisa Macchioni from Brussels for a very comprehensive presentation. I'm sure the participants would want to have the soft copy of our presentation so that they can go home with it and digest it for future conversation. Since this workshop is just the initial, we hope to have more of it coming up. The interaction continues. So if Luisa can avail us of soft copy of a lecture, we really appreciate that. Thank you very much once again. Now, we are in the second session of today's program. Let me invite the chairman of this session to come to the high table and join our distinguished prof, and that is the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Professor Paul Olaolu Akinobi. Can we give him a round of applause, please? The rapporteur for this session is Mr. Abdurrahuf Balogun. Is he around to join the prof? Okay, when he comes, he's going to do that, inshallah. Is he around? Oh, sorry, thank you. So, the second lecture is titled Enhancing Universal Access to Telecom Services to Farmers in Kwara State. I have the honor and privilege to invite to speak to us on this topic Engineer Dr. Olushola Adetola Ogunjinrin. Did I get that correctly? Ogunjinrin. He mistakenly went to Ibadan. Oh. He's way back to Ilorin now. Okay. He called me some 30 minutes ago. Okay. Anytime from now, we will have it. Okay, we wish him safe travels down to Ilorin. The next session is titled Digitalization and Training for Alternatives, Livelihoods for Farmers and Climate Change. To speak to this topic in 20 minutes, I want to invite Professor Oluwasefunmi T. Arogundade from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Can we Give her a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on the existing protocol, and as you can see on the slides here, I'll be speaking on digitalization and training for alternative livelihood for farmers and climate change in Nigeria. I believe we have been following these lectures since we started in the morning, and from the report from the 3 states, you have heard about alternative livelihood, I believe. And this is what I just want to discuss here. I'm a professor of software engineering and computer science, but I'm a lover of farmers, and I'm an advocate for farmers. So I love farmers, and I want to apply ICT to help farmers get more money and live better life. And that is why I'm here. Thank you very much. Next. They have forgotten you, okay? Ah, Jesus Christ. I cannot control it myself, eh? The outline of my... the previous slide. Give me the previous slide. So I'll be talking about agricultural landscape in Nigeria, the challenges in traditional agriculture, information technology, alternate livelihood, and training for farmers in Nigeria. The main goal of this lecture is to tell us about training, especially digital training, in alternative livelihood for farmers. We have heard enough of what agriculture can do for our GDP. We have heard enough of what we are doing on agriculture, how much we are making. We have heard enough of information here and there. And we farmers that are here, I know that we are not novice. We are used to training by our extension officers. They've come to the local government, they've come to the state, and they will call on us. They have come, oh, let us meet in the palace, and then we listen to them. They bring new technology to us and information of the research in academia so that we can practice them and make agriculture better. Yes, we have had enough of all this. Move, the next one. The next one. So we have diversity in agriculture, some into crop and then some into animal. But we also have some, they are neither into crop or animal, but all they do is to take produce from farmer, process it, package it, that is, and they are farmers too. That is what they do. While you bring those things from the farm, they process into another form for people to consume. They are also a class of farmers, so to say. So challenges in Nigeria, we have post-harvest losses, we have low productivity because of climate change, and then we see that farmers are yearning to have alternative means of livelihood so that they can combine it with their work, not like Okada riding. That's not what we are saying. But you are also doing some other ones that it may also be a kind of farming, but you are not familiar with it. But with the facility you have on ground, it is possible for you to take this as the second and third, and you are doing the 3 together. When this one is not big enough produce for you to meet the needs of your family, the 1 and 2 alternative will be able to bring in something for you without being totally digressed or diverted from agriculture. Because already I know some of us here, we have shops. When we come back from farming in the evening, we go and sit there in our shop and we are selling. We are selling small things in the villages. And so that is why we are focusing on this. And it's one of the main goals. As I said, you must have heard, since we started the lecture today, is one of the main objectives of this project, that farmers will have alternative means, a way of combating the negative impact of climate change, which has led to low productivity for farmers and low yield. How do we address some of these challenges by climate change? Next. to use information and technology. We have radio, you are used to that. Radio programs for farmer, television, you are used to that of extension workers, the cooperative societies. They will invite experts to come and talk to you in this cooperative society so that you can do what you are doing better. Then you have friends and colleagues that are coming to you to tell you, oh, my friend, I learned from university of so and so. They are now having another yield of maybe another species of, so come and buy your own. I bought my own and it's doing well, from your friends and colleagues. Then on your mobile phone. But for the purpose of this project, we are actually going to, make use of the potential of our mobile phone. Because almost all farmers now, they have mobile phone. It may not be so sophisticated, but at least you can do Facebook, you can do WhatsApp on your mobile phone. Next, okay? So we have the role of digitization. We want to harness the power of this small thing in our hand for the purpose of this project to train farmer in alternative livelihood. By the grace of God, we have gone into 3 local governments in the 3 states. And we have listened to farmer. This is just representation. It may not be, but we believe that it will have conveyed the mind of most of the farmers in these 3 states that are working on, Kwara, Ogun, and Imo State. So we have heard from them. They have told us the alternative livelihood they are interested in. They will like to do it, but they do not know how to do it. And having information or learning these days by ICT or digitalization, even in the university, the learning is very easy now, much easier than before. Now, as I'm teaching you now, if you are able to record what I'll be saying now, after you leave this very place, you can listen to that thing 10 times. You can keep listening, you can even give to another person, give to another person. Learning is very easy now, very, very easy. And if you are lucky, you can have the video and audio. You are also seeing me the way I'm talking. And it is as if you are in class, you are in the class again, listening to me. So we are going to leverage on that potential of our mobile phone to be able to open video just like we are watching film. I know human beings, as we are here, if you are sleeping now and you just put on something and it's like a video, a film, and everybody is watching, your eyes will be wide open. You will not be able to sleep again because you want to see what is happening. You have seen the visualization and everything. So this will catch your attention so much that you are engrossed and you are lost into it. That same way, we want to bring in alternative livelihood in such a way that farmers are not weary. Okay, my own is a snary. You can go through it, watching the video. Oh, so interesting. And you are seeing the snail growing, and then you are following the way what they are being fed with, and then you are seeing it. Later again, you listen to it. It is easy for you to start it. And when you now, maybe you are lost along the line, what do? You go back to that thing. And then you can listen to the audio, you can watch the video, and then you can read the text in your language. So if we are taking Yoruba, or it is, I don't know which one we are taking in Kwara yet, and then in Imo State we are taking Igbo, then you can listen to it, and it's fascinating and interesting to you, and you want to listen to it again. By so doing, you will learn. After you have learned, you take it to your friend, you send it to your people that are interested. By and by, number of people are increasing. We are having primary beneficiary, secondary, and tertiary beneficiary of the training. In those things that you can do to have more money in order to survive. Presently, we have some IT facilities. They are not, what we are talking about now is alternative livelihood. I just want to tell you that there are platforms already that are serving farmers, but not within this context. Not within the context of, you can say within you now that, oh, everything you want to learn is on YouTube. Yes, but they have not customized YouTube to meet specific needs of farmers as we have done. Because by going into participatory impact pathway analysis or participatory research, that is, we hear from farmer, we took those things from you, and then we pen them down. From you, we heard it, and then we want to provide solution to it. It's different from learning on YouTube. And so what we are giving you will be customized to the need according to the result of the survey carried out in the 3 states and in the 3 local governments. So you must have heard about farm crowding. Farm crowding is a way of linking farmers with investors. I have a poultry. If you can invest in 100 fowls, At the end of the year, I'll be able to give you this. That's farm crowding. Next. You have e-wallets. It's implemented by Nigerian government. It's a way of distributing subsidized fertilizer to farmers. Next. We have Hello Tractor, a way of you being acquainted where you can get machinery to carry out your farming practices. Next. Then, alternative livelihood. That is our own, our goal. And I've talked it, and I've said it all. And then, what you should expect after now is to see this alternative livelihood given to you as application on your phone. It's like a courseware, what you can go through. If I want to teach you mathematics now, I said, okay, let's start from addition. It's an operation, subtraction, division, and all of that. That same way. You are going to be taken through, and then you have it. So we can have a green business venture, livestock rearing, aquaculture. You have heard from the different states, the alternative livelihood discovered by the farmers, and the one they want to go into. What are the benefits? Is to reduce income risk, to enhance income potential, to also make farmers to acquire additional skill, and then you will be economically resilient. You'll be economically resilient. They say climate change, flood has gone into our rice farm, and it has taken away everything. Something is saying you at the back of your mind, let me go back to this thing. Because I do the two together, you will not be totally down. Then you have something as alternative. Next. So we have this one, snary. This is poultry. These people are producing gari. And this one you see on the left is the production of black soldier fly to produce larvae for feeding fish in fish farming, aquaculture. Next. So means of training, these are the different types of training you may be used to, but I have told you the kind of training we are adopting for these very projects. So you have, when you have training, it will improve your efficiency, you can adapt to change, you have higher yields, and then there is reduced skill. So we want you to stay tuned and be expectant of this very thing we are talking to you about. It will surely come, and you will all enjoy it. Next. Digital farming techniques and all of that. These are many training programs you are used to. But we are going to make use of the potential of this thing in my hand for you to learn again, and to be able to cope with the negative impact of climate change. When there is low yield for you, you have something to fall back to, and then be able to meet the needs of your family. Thank you for listening. Question?
Professor Arogundade, thank you very much. Please, we can do better than this. Please, could you please come here so you can take questions as they come. Thank you. May I, at this point, hand over to the chairman of the session that is here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe we will have learned one or two things from presentation of Professor O.T. Arogundade. And from our submissions, it shows that if the farmers could actually make use of their mobile phone, it would definitely bring in more money into their pocket, as well as reduced wastage of their products due to the transportation problem we have in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now we'll move to the next lecture, which is titled Transforming Agricultural Landscapes for a Greener Future. I was thinking we could take that at the end of the... Should we? Or do we take the questions now? Okay, we should go to the next lecture. Okay,
let's just note our questions.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying, let's note our questions after each presentation. By the time we are done with all the presentation, then we ask questions.
So let me invite to present a lecture titled Transforming Agricultural Landscapes for a Greener Future, Kwara State Journey, to be delivered by Mazi Bolaji Ogidan, the acting director for ICT, Al-Hikmah University.
Thank you so very much. Sorry, I'm not tall.
Don't worry, we'll have you covered.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, without taking much ado, thank you so much for the workshop and your attendance. The topic before me is transforming agricultural landscape for a greener future. We are now looking at Kwara State journey. That is bringing it down to Kwara State. Transforming agricultural landscape for a greener future. Introduction, I would like to remind us of what the EU sponsor project is all about. I know a lot have been said about alternative livelihood, digital solutions, and so many things have been said. But here, I'm going in another dimension, which is that greener future. Now, this EU sponsor project that is codenamed DIGISOL is meant to promote digital solutions for farmers in remote communities, for them to be able to adapt to climate change. It is aimed at enhancing the technical and management capacities of various stakeholders, including the technical and management, including government institutions, local authorities, civil society organizations, private sectors, and EU partners to support the implementation of digital solutions for agriculture and rural development in remote areas of Nigeria. That is the main focus. The project seeks to reduce poverty amongst women, young farmers, IDPs, and returnees, and promote sustainable development in remote communities in Nigeria, albeit with the use of digital solutions. This is the area of focus. Now, but you can notice I'm going in this dimension of transforming agricultural landscape for a greener future, but the story of Kwara State. Remember, one of our presenters in Kwara has given us their findings of our survey. We have seen the challenges that we're able to see on the field. Recommendations have also come out of it. But we say, let's go on. So do justice to the topic requires us to have an understanding of some basic concepts in order to appreciate the benefits of a greener future in terms of transforming the agricultural landscape in Kwara State. The team went out to 3 local governments. We met farmers, local authorities, and what have you. Now, I'd like to take us through some of those terms, why I'm going on in the topic. Digital solutions. This has been said all around. It's a computerized method. Look at the word computerized, of doing something that otherwise will have to be done in another and often slower and more time-involved way. That is what digital solution is meant to do. It is not meant, it's meant to hasten your work. You can see the drone. Remember, people, one of those lectures, Prof made us to understand, Professor Ogunade, one of the projects is doing in the north, where they organize people to be sending away birds, you know. So you have 100 of students out of school, they will send them and pay them. But with the use of drone, you don't need any human, you know, to be sending and dispersing birds. So this what digital solution has come to do. It has made your work to be easier with the computerization process. All right? Using technology now to help streamline processes or to solve problems. I just mentioned one of them, which is the issue of using human, setting birds around. Drone can cover many acres. It will just go make some sound, and the birds will disappear. They don't need to be there. So you save human effort with the use of digital solutions. Now, that one is digital solution techniques. Techniques used in digital solutions include artificial intelligence, machine learning, computer vision, Internet of Things, are revolutionizing various industries. They're enabling business to improve efficiency, yes, reduce cost, and enhance customer experience. Now, one of the major discourse now is the impact of AI, artificial intelligence. I learned this week or last week, the British Prime Minister is warning that we should be really careful of artificial intelligence. They are looking at it that when it goes to a certain stage, if we give our life to here, it may turn against us. So there's cautioning. They are being cautious. So while we know there's benefit, the demerits are also there. But the merits actually outweigh the demerit. Climate change, I've been talking about it. This is what we want to alleviate. It refers to long-term shift in temperatures, just a normal definition of climate change. Weather patterns, the Yoruba call it Eda or something, if I'm not mistaken, when the rain will not be. You just have drought, and the farmers will not be able to make their sales. It affects them financially and what have you. This is all culminate to be what we call climate change. Transformation, that is change in form. I'm explaining this term because I will need it, in actually collecting the topic. All right, the agricultural landscape, area where nature is significantly influenced by farming activities. We have been to 3 local governments, Felodu and Moro. And that's we have a lot of landscape that can be used for planting and agri-farming and the rest. So that's what I mean by agricultural landscape. Okay, planting, tilling, irrigation, and the rest. Okay, can also be seen as the visible outcomes of interaction between agriculture, natural resources, and the environment. That's what makes up the agricultural landscape. Now we have, going now into my topic, we have greener future. What do we mean by greener future? It means ending the overuse. It can have many faces to it. By the time we hear green, you're talking about naturality. You're talking about organic. That is the area that comes to your mind. That means ending the overuse of natural resources, reducing consumption, and maximizing recycling. The philosophy also emphasizes the importance of designing products and using materials in ways that preserve their value. That's the concept of greener future. Conserve natural resources, limited impact on the environment. In a nutshell, going greener aims at reducing the effect of climate change. Talking about green, you want to go greener, you are trying to reduce the effect of climate change. Now we also have this concept, green technology. It's environmental friendly by definition. And the future of green technology seems at the moment is very bright. From what technology, I'm talking about computing technology. Okay? So that is what is invoked right now, using technology, which is what we use in our digital solutions to alleviate, the climate change effect. Now, when I say going green, it means becoming more environmentally aware and changing your behavior and lifestyle to reduce the amount of pollution and waste you generate. The decision to go green is a gradual process for most people. Any action you take that contributes to sustainable living makes a positive impact on the environment. But don't forget, we are looking at transforming agricultural landscape, our agricultural landscape, for a greener future. That is the look. But Quora State journey now. All right, let's go ahead. Green innovation. This incorporates technological improvement. Don't forget that digital solution is about using technology to improve to enhance productivity. All right. Incorporate technological improvement that save energy, prevent pollution, or enable waste recycling, and can include green product design and corporate environmental management. Now, so we have a lot of green technology innovations that we have. We'll be dwelling about just a few of them. We'll now talk about the organic and inorganic farming. We know most of us are the fertilizer and non-fertilizer. At least we are used to that. Now, so from that greener future, we have been able to discover that going green means we want to go away from things that affect us, which is, don't forget the focus of the project is on the climate change. All right. So going green means we want to be able to go away from the effect of climate change on agriculture. All right. So a greener future is premised on the implementation of green innovation. Don't forget that the green innovation is about using technology, which is what we want to achieve in digital solutions. So it's about technology in use, to help us in for faster produce and help us to overcome climate change effect. Experiments on the implementation of green innovation. As explained earlier, green innovation incorporates technological improvements to cope the effect of climate change and enhance productivity. All right, so this kind is similar to the expectation of using digital solutions. The same now, vis-a-vis using technology to help streamline processes or to solve problems. That is the greener future we're talking about. Scientists around the world are developing technological solutions, yes, which are examples of green innovation. So we're talking about, using digital solutions. We're talking about going green. They are too similar. They are similar. What I'm trying to bring them in their similarity back to the topic, which is to help us overcoming the climate change effect. Which are examples of green innovation? Aim at reducing and eliminating everything that causes damage to our planet. Green innovations take into account the long and short-term impact a product has on the environment. There are numerous examples of sustainable business models and green innovation, in such areas as energy efficiency, recycling, health and safety concerns, renewable resources, and what have you. All right, so these are the issues around the greener future. And let's go to the importance of green innovation. Don't forget, we're talking about innovation in terms of technology. All right. Now, importance of it. One, just delve into some importance. It increases economic and social performance through a reduction in waste, cost, and other inefficiencies. Absolutely. By the time you use technology, you achieve this. It attracts new customers. Yes, because now, instead of us, now we're talking about the drone and other devices that have been developed in digital solutions. So we now have many things to buy. Maybe we used to buy hose before and cutlass. We now know we can get other equipment that will help us. So it gives new customers. That's what it means. You can exactly. You can get other. So we have opportunity to buy other things. People that are in it also have to make opportunity to encourage their business and make money. Innovation is used in the manufacturing process by companies to minimize production time and cost. Exactly. With the machine right now, you have a lot of devices that makes region to be fast instead of this manual labor getting hundreds, and you can use that with the advent of technology. You can do more work in a less time. Improves market position and gives an edge over their competition. These are just advantages of this green innovation. Creates innovation. Green innovation creates breakthroughs. Yes, you have seen what we've done in AI, Internet of Things, what has happened. These are effects of green innovation. Now, I want to do some examples. Now, I'm saying that coming to Kwara State's journey, study, we found out a lot of gaps, which I will get into. Let me just give some of these examples of great. One, solar desalination. We see so many things because of we are not knowledgeable in it, or we don't even know the end. So we are out of it. But by having this understanding, it maximize, the green innovation, which are the benefits also of solar desalination. It has been discovered that something is covered by water. Unfortunately, we can only use a fraction of it because most of it is salt water, which you cannot drink. Cannot drink salt water. Industrial purpose like agriculture. Imagine any of the worst problems we will solve if you are able to that water by sustainably making fresh water. Solarization aims to exactly. You can see the picture here. This example of solar. It turned this. It separates. It makes the water to be usable. Examples of green innovation. Another one, I'm not taking many of them. We have farming. It has the potential to problems. Produce in stacked vertical layer, horizontally. Instead of land with vertical, you just mount within a short space. You have a lot. agricultural products can come out from it. The benefit of vertical farming is in. So vertical farm and reduce water. The technology allows in buildings around people with fresh and nutritious food. So why we need land mass? We example of this innovation. These are things that technology to assist us in making gains and the effects of climate change. Start greening. Nature-based solution to fight fertility and the loss of biodiversity. At the same time, it helps to tackle social like food insecurity. It also helps to absorb more, which is of course very useful in the can see this picture. These are gleaning. New technologies that have been introduced. For example, we have this bucket. We can just incubate some. It requires 90 water than traditional grow and can be used in some of the most on earth. You can see the benefits of solar gas. Just imagine how much more from the sun in all our windows. Solar panels, we have solar. No, now solar panels give power. But beyond that, in fact, it's getting solar could cover for energy needs. Transition to the circular. For example, we have our voltaic generate clean at the same climatic property. The optimized solar field, it absorbs almost an infrared rays, which are harmful to the occupant. The air chamber of the solar gas works. Benefits innovation. So funny, but it's eco ATM. Electronic recycling. Electronic recycling. It's got electronic put huge amount of weight. And recycling efforts to encourage people against what you do, old gadgets. Value it and machine that gives you discarded device. You can see green of all you have to do wherever you can directors are I don't know if it's a benefit. Challenge. Saying at the top forming greener field, Quora State job. Going out in the field, come back with and these are the one of them transforming agriculture greater means will involve green innovation of climate change and enhance product. However, our findings review that are available. This is now the known to relevance for farmers. US. We're talking about this is just some even the common one. I don't even it becomes go forward. So I want to just that we have so recommendation order known relevance of like now you have a lot still line there can make you so review that technological require evidences activities with this use we have precision so fact, we're talking about we have a lot to cover. In addition, the local cover to aid farmers to enhance their clean gross to our situation, especially when we win. Review that the access loan local why need your access right. It's no look at modern that on their one of believe to get in a more climate farmers to program what other I believe are the achievable. Look out, most of them are in they are red, they know do this environment training. Look out, knowledge, willing, unable to I mean, what it so we are here. National kind of what in get there and be in what we to but green up with agricultural land that we also improve cost finding. All this are very much blessed.
Very much. Sorry, the second. I have been informed that engineer Dr. Olushola Adetola Ogunjinri is around, so I'll be inviting him to come and give a speech. But before that, let me quickly recognize and invite to the high table against our wish the former registrar of this university, Alhaja Chief Dr. Rashidat Modupe Oladimeji. Can we give her a round of applause? The former registrar and wife of the founder of this university. Okay, so now let's have our erudite scholar, engineer Dr. Olushola Adetola Ogunjinri, FNSE, FNIAE, head of Department, Engineering and Scientific Services, National Center for Agricultural Mechanization, NCAM, Idofia, Kwara State. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, the respected high table, the distinguished participants. Hello? Distinguished participants. Okay. I had to go and do what you call sightseeing in Igbaja. I left for Igbaja. So it was when I got there, they told me that, it's not this place that is a lorry. I said, I must not disappoint Al-Hikmah, that whatever it takes, I must come down to this. I immediately called Dr. Ajala and told, I'm in Igbaja, I'm just coming down to a lorry now. So I'm very sorry for coming a bit late. It's not intentional. Yes, the presentation. Can you project it? Okay. Thank you. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the organizers of this program. I want to appreciate Dr. Ajala, who said that, no, you are partners in progress. Thank you. I like to be free. I don't like to be stationary. And I want to appreciate the founder of this school. I must tell you, we need schools like this for the country to forge ahead. People that are looking in the direction of people that are in the rural areas. It is not everybody. The organizers of this program, the founder of this university, I keep appreciating him. I talked about him almost every time when people talk about Igbaja, when people talk about private school in Ilorin, I always mention him. And I want to thank the organizers of this program. I was made to understand that the European Union funded this program. You see, when you have programs like this being funded to take care of the rural people, it's very important. And I hope at the end of this program, the communique, the knowledge will be utilized to advance the cause of the rural people. Because I was in Maiduguri, this time last week I was in Maiduguri, and I still found out that people need information. And Daily Times is there, fine. Electronics and print medias are there, fine. But nowadays, the best way to get information is what? Through your phone. You can read all newspapers on your phone at a glance. But how many of these people in the rural areas have access to this phone? And when they have access to this phone, do they have access to network? When they have access to network, are they educated enough to even know what to do with the phone? And you will now understand that bringing a topic like this, enhancing universal access to telecom services to farmers in Kwara State, becomes very important. Because we need to address, if we don't give them information, if you are traveling from Minneapolis to Nebraska, you will see farms. You'll be wondering, is this green or farm? But they are farms. And they have every facility you can think of. Internet. In fact, the farmer live on the farm with all facility you can think of in the town. And so they don't have reason to migrate to the town. What are they looking for? It is you that will come and attend to them there because you need their product. But in our own case in Nigeria, it's the reverse. I was privileged to be in Japan too, and I saw where it is when you go to the rural area, you think you call it rural areas, but that rural area has every facility you can think of that the city has. And until we start having such things in Nigeria, in our rural areas, when we are going to Igbaja, maybe God just used that so that I can put it part of. I realized that from Ajasha-Eko Junction to Igbaja, I was looking for where I will see mast, MTN, Glo. At times network will fail. It will come back. Why? And you want farmers in that area to have access to information. And we in the town are the one who have access to the information. And at least Kwara is a bit safe. So why are they not having it? So let's just look at this. I have just 19 slides. And I don't intend to take much of our time. I will brush through so that it can be attractive. Because when it is becoming too long, it is tiring. Now, enhancing universal access to telecom service to farmers is essentially about making sure that all farmers, regardless of their socioeconomic, please take note of the point, socioeconomic status, education level, or location, have access to mobile services. That's information that are handy. You don't have to carry hard copy. Mobile services. They need to know the weather, when it will rain on the farm, so that they don't apply chemical wrongly or at the wrong time. They need access to mobile services. They should be able to Google what is the weather in Igbaja, in our data, so that they'll be able to take decision. No, I won't spray today, I will spray tomorrow. That's the importance of mobile services. Now, updated information can be accessed through telecom service at the fingertips of farmers. It can. But all this has to do with the level of understanding of the farmer. And telecommunication is one of the solutions to improve agriculture. Because the world is on your phone. There's nothing you're looking for that you don't have access to on your phone. If you don't know how to prepare eba, just type, how do I prepare eba? I can bet you, they will show you the video, how to prepare eba on your phone. So with this, you realize that mobile communication is very germane to farmers. We want to talk about enhance, that's improving the availability. You want to talk of universal, that is available, availability too. That is, whatever is in the US is also in Nigeria, it's universal. Access, be made able to use and benefit from telecom services. Telecom services means telecommunication, services such as mobile phone, internet, and all the rest. Now, let's look at the level of access to telecom services to farmers in Nigeria. I've just said it, that most of our farmers are in the rural areas. But when you want to talk of urban areas, you see that how many farmers do we have in the city? There's no farm, for example, 20 hectares, that you tell me that you can have it in the city. 20 hectares. It must be inside the bush, outside the town. You must have it. So for you, so let's look at the level of access. It's only in the urban cities that you have good access to telecom. In the rural areas, even if it is there, the internet access is poor. You might be able to make phone calls, but you might not have access to internet facilities that will give you access to mobile information that you require to work on your farm. You want to talk of government initiative. Thank God to Baba Obasanjo. During his tenure, he brought in, it was during his tenure we have mobile phone in Nigeria. And if the initiative was not taken, I can bet you we may still be in the dark ages of queuing up at night to make phone calls. Somebody want to make ordinary phone call, not internet access, and you go and queue up at Offa Road. You spend about 2 hours, and the person just pressing the diag 080 will be the one that will be, I'm going to eat, oh, I don't have time. I need to rest. I've not rested since morning. Somebody just dialing. Just to dial, the 000, he will tell you that he's busy, she's busy. But nowadays, you can stay in the comfort of your room and access anywhere in the world. That's a government initiative. Private sector investment. We've had people investing in telecom services in this country. We have MTN, Glo, Airtel. Even there are some people, they are not into telecom, they are not into providing phone services, but internet services. All you need to do is buy their router, and you are good to go anywhere you are. There's a router in this town. Once you buy it, at least 10 of you, if you are within their area, can have access to mobile services. But as I'm talking about this, is that feasible in the rural areas? Government initiative. Digital inclusion programs. These are NGOs and organizations have launched programs to enhance digital literacy and promote the use of telecom service among farmers in rural communities. Like this kind of program we're having. You want people to be aware. You want to include the rural women. Digital inclusion. Now, what is the importance of enhancing universal access to telecom service to farmers? If farmers, you know, the way we're talking, you will have been understanding that it's very important for farmers to have access to telecom service on their farm. Now, access to information. There was a time an advert was made. Somebody wants to sell his yam, and he was crying. How do I sell my yam? Lo and behold, somebody brought, I don't want to advertise the telecom provider, and somebody came and snapped and posted it on the net, and before you know, somebody has tagged it, I want to buy it, gave the price. On the phone, they were able to do the transaction and completed the transaction. That's the kind of access that is required for farmers on the farm. Access to information. Creation of market opportunities, as I've said. Access to financial institutions. You see, it's only in Nigeria that people will just access loan and use it to go and buy a car. When you access loan, you must use it to generate additional income that you offset that loan, make profit, and continue to live better than you were living before. That is why access to financial institutions. Nowadays, you have they will even send, if you don't want, access loan at 5%. And they will only send it to you if you have access to that mobile service. If you don't have access to mobile services, like your phone is not connected to the internet, you can't have access to it. So if they send it to a farmer who needs money to buy fertilizer, who needs money to buy chemical herbicides, who needs money to weed his farm, if he accessed that loan and was able to weed, spray, and harvest his crop timely, he will be able to offset his debt and still improve his livelihood. So, if telecom services will provide access to financial support. Now, we are still saying importance of enhancing. When you enhance access to telecom services to farmers, they can easily be trained. They can easily be educated. They can have access to health care. They might be on the farm and still have access to sound health care. Rural development. When farmers have access to mobile telecom services, their livelihood will be improved. We all don't have to live in the city. We all don't have to live in the city before we enjoy good facility. Telecom services is part of the infrastructure that should be provided in the rural areas so that farmers too will not be thinking of migrating. We're having challenges in the urban city. People are tired. There is every houses in the rural areas, houses are built and spaced. But in the city, every inch matters. Because we are all migrating to the city. All the facilities are only available at the city center. And people are not looking backward at staying back in the village. You have fresh air. You have good food. You have fresh food, farm produce that has not been battered and beaten by the weather and sun. All this matters most. And it is only achievable when we reduce rural-urban migration. And the only way we can do that is by also replicating what is in the city in those rural areas. So by that, people will not be interested in coming down to the city. This slide. Yeah. Factors militating, limiting farmers' access to telecom services is poverty, number one. To even buy phone that we are not talking of phone that we just receive phone calls. You need a phone that is Android, at least to be able to access internet. How many farmers can afford that? But let me tell you, farmers are the richest. In countries like America, like Japan, farmers are the richest. In fact, in Japan, they have that power to the extent that they can decide that we want to remove our prime minister in 24 hours and they will remove the prime minister. It's only in that country I saw that farmers, when they produce, they don't have to be worried about where to dispose of their product, their produce. The farmers group will take over whatever you farm and pay you 2/3 of the cost. And after 3 weeks, you come and collect the 1/3. So you don't have to be thinking of where do I sell my product. All you'll be thinking is how do I produce to meet the standard of the cooperative. Because if you don't meet their standard, they will not collect it from you. But for you to be worried, and that is why our farmers are not encouraged. When they have suffered to produce, they cannot get value for their suffering on the farm. And if they have access to information, they will know when to harvest. Even if they harvest, they know when to process. They can add value. Okay. They will add value. So if they don't have access to phone, that will give them the level of information that they require. That will be jeopardized. Educational level of farmers. You know, our farmers, how many of them even know? To even make phone calls at times is a problem. They will have to call somebody. Taye, Papa mi telephone yi, ba mi pe egbon re. They don't know how to access information. And it's a major challenge. And until we start understanding that education is required by everybody, it's a requirement for us. At least anybody that will go to a farm, let him have secondary school education. And once you have that, you'll be able to press phone, you'll be able to read what is online, you'll be able to know that weather forecast for the next 1 week, you will know what to do. So, education level of farmers, corruption. When they tell you that they have done all the math that leads to every village in Kwara State, for example, and by the time you get to your own village, you didn't see any. And what is responsible for the money has been paid. That's corruption. Gaps in infrastructure. You see, towards the broadband. You see, let me tell you, it's only in the city. You have all those 3G, 4G, 5G. Even in Kwara State, there's no 5G in Kwara State. There's 5G in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Lagos. There's no 5G anywhere. And just imagine you went to Femtech and you say, I want phone that can do 5G, and you are living in Kwara. You have just wasted your money. Because there's no 5G facility in Kwara as at now. So if you go and buy a 5G phone and you are living in Kwara, you have just wasted your money. Gaps in infrastructure. Cost is a major challenge too. Then lack of digital literacy. Then geographical barrier. You see, this is a major challenge where you have mountains. If you have gone to somewhere, if you are going to Onigbin by the left, you go to, there's a town by the left. If you enter that town, there's a place you get to there. You'll be seeing mountains. There's no how they will put a mast there that the people of the town will have access to it effectively and efficiently, because they are being barricaded by those mountainous hills. Linguistics and cultural barrier. Irregular power supply, which is a major challenge. Irregular power supply. People are now carrying double phones. One is a battery, one is the phone. They go around, and when I see people, I say, why is your phone so big? They say, this is a charger, this is a phone. And it's not everybody that is that buoyant enough to be buying those things. Those are costs that are not required if those infrastructures are on ground. You don't have to be, if you charge your phone fully in the morning, sufficiently to support you throughout the day. You only need to charge it later when you want to sleep. But reverse is the case. Some areas don't even have light for almost 3 months. And in the villages, it's even worse. Because when their light goes off, nobody is worried about them. And we want these people to be efficient. So there's need to provide for telecom services. Incoherent regulatory policies, where somebody will tell you that there are cases where they will tell you that they charge for if you want to do something in Federal High Court, you still pay 25 kobo. Obsolete information has been circulated. Incoherent policies. Security issues, which we all know. I don't have to beat. I was about 2 kilometers from Sambisa last week. And the man conducting us said, that is Sambisa. If you just cross that water, that's Sambisa. But all the farmers there have migrated to where we are. And they cannot cross to that place to farm. That they must do their farming here. Now, those fine land that is abandoned is wasted due to what? Security issues. Economic viability. When MTN or Glo or Zen, anybody, realizes that if they put up their mast in your locality, the population of the people living there are no more than maybe 1,000. And they know that if they bring it to somewhere like a Ilorin here, the population, the traffic that they will be experiencing on that mast will be up to 1 million. They would rather do that of Ilorin and abandon that and be telling you that they are coming. Because there's no traffic there. It won't generate money for them because data is money. Once they want that signal to be moving, as the signal is moving up and down, you are the one spending your money. And if they don't have up to 1,000 people spending on the traffic, it's like they are wasting their resources. Weather the condition, which also impedes network. Not only network, even when plane wants to move, if they have bad weather, they can't move. Likewise, information sharing is difficult when there's bad weather. And that is why we need good weather to get information. The way forward, I think I'm almost through. The way forward is, number one is infrastructure development. Subsidies and affordability. Infrastructure must go round. That is when somebody like me would choose to go and live in the village because I have access to every infrastructure that I needed. And I won't have to be bothered about whatever you are doing in the town. And you'll be surprised that I will live longer than you because there's no noise. There's no disturbance. Now, we're talking of subsidies. If you can subsidize those local areas, don't be surprised. It may attract some people to go and rent houses there. Just say that cost made in somewhere like Igbaja is 20% cheaper than cost made in Ajashe. You will be surprised that some farmers will rather migrate to Igbaja because they know that the cost of course there will be cheaper. Digital literacy training. This is very important. To train farmers how they will access information online. They don't have to be asking for ADPs are not even that effective again. But I can bet you, I can bet you, because they have stopped funding them, maybe Kwara, but other states we have been to, they said they are no more funding them. Maybe Kwara State has taken over, madam. So, digital literacy training, they need this training through extension services. Then, public-private partnership. There is a way you can arrange with people that will go and provide that services in the local areas. They will be generating income, and as the people are accessing the information, they are spending their money. They too are also making money from there. The people are getting their information. Regulatory reforms, then community networks. Localized content, very important. Localized content, what I mean here is you can decide to bring the information down to the farmers in the local dialects. How to get access to weather condition, how to know the planting distance for crops. You can type it on Google. You can teach them in the local dialect. They don't have to use English. And it's only in Nigeria we are using English to the detriment of our local languages. In Japan, all their studies, all their books are written in Japanese. And I want to use this scissors of opportunity to thank, there's a chap, is in the US now. I think they are from Kwara Aziz. What they are doing is, they are doing science in Yoruba. Science in Yoruba. They will explain how the work came into being in Yoruba language. They will explain everything you are doing in science in Yoruba, and they kept on improving. And I always support them. I say, I love this kind of. If we are taught mathematics in English, in Yoruba, I'm sure many of us will be good mathematicians. But because they bring all these things in English, we don't. Most times, which you read in your local dialect, you understand better than reading English. Most times when I want to read, what is the Yoruba meaning of this thing? It will give you better understanding. Mobile banking and financial inclusion. Encourage the integration of mobile banking and financial service to facilitate financial anyway, that one is available now, but is it that effective in the rural areas? No. Because most of them don't even have access to internet facility. And where they have, it is still 2G. And you can't be comparing 2G to 3G that is prevalent in Ilorin. Not even 4G. Then, and 4G that is in some areas. So, agricultural apps and services. There are so many agricultural apps now, applications, that you go online. By the time you put it, it can tell you that, it can guide the farmers that this is when you should plant. This, you must wait 3 weeks for you to put fertilizer there and weed. Then by the time you follow, but how many of our Baba in those villages can do those things? And until you bring these things to their level, we shall still be struggling with surviving agriculturally in this country. Because most of the farmers we are still talking of, the people still feeding us in this country are those old men in the village, old women in the village. There are still very few large-scale farmers in Nigeria. Very few. And those subsistence farmers, it's not a sin to be a subsistence farmer. All we need to do is let's upgrade them. Once you upgrade them to the standard that will make production efficient, there's no problem. With 1 hectare, and you can be sustainable with 1 hectare. You keep producing throughout the year. During the dry season, you are doing dry season farming through irrigation. During the rainy season, you are doing rain-fed agriculture. And before you know, you are producing all year round. If you are producing all year round, you are selling all year round. If you are selling all year round, you are making money all year round. Thank you. Rural electrification is an important aspect too. Awareness campaign, security measures. Anyway, we only hope on God, because security nowadays, we don't really know where we're going. Now, feedback mechanism. If all this has been said, you need to be finding out, How are you finding it in your local areas? Ask those farmers. Through the extension officers, let us know. Let there be a form that will be administered to know the level of access, which is also tied to monitoring and evaluation. In conclusion, enhancing universal access to telecom services for farmers is not only a matter of connectivity, but a pathway to empowerment, progress, and sustainability in agriculture. Universal access to telecom services empowers farmers with information market access, financial services, and more, ultimately contribute to agricultural development. A comprehensive and all-inclusive approach involving all stakeholders is crucial to ensure that farmers in remote and rural areas have equitable access to telecom services, which can significantly enhance their agricultural practices, improved livelihood, and food security in Nigeria. Thank you.
Can we give him a round of applause once again? Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Lushola Adetola Ogunjinrin, who is the HOD Engineering and Scientific Services of the National Center for Agricultural Mechanization, NCAM, Idofia, here in Kwara State. While the distinguished academic was presenting his paper, we had the honor to receive in our midst directors from the Ministry of Business, Innovation, and Technology here in Kwara State. We have Mr. Bukoye Lamidi Bola, who is a director in the ministry and is here representing the Honorable Commissioner. You are welcome, sir. Is accompanied by another director in the ministry, Mr. Ibrahim Sani. You are welcome, sir. And other staff members who are here with them. And now we'll move straight to the lecture to be delivered by the Honorable Commissioner for Business Innovation and Technology of Kwara State, Mrs. Daminola Yusuf Adelodun. The lecture is titled Empowering Kwara's Agricultural Sector, Leveraging Technology and Communication for Rural Farmers, Rural Farmer Connectivity. May I invite Mr. Bukoye Lamidi Bola to come and deliver the paper on behalf of the Honorable Commissioner.
Please permit me to adopt already established protocol. And this is the speech of the Honorable Commissioner for the Ministry of Business, Innovation, and Technology at a 2-day workshop on DIGISOL project on promoting digital solutions from farmers in remote communities to adapt to climatic change, held at Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, on Tuesday, 7th November 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly honored to stand before you today as we gather for this 2-day workshop on promoting digital solutions for farmers in remote communities to adapt to climatic change. First and foremost, let me commend the organizer of this program, Al-Hikmah University, for organizing this program at this crucial time when this nation is facing challenges of food security. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you agree with me that the agricultural sector has always been the backbone of our nation's economy. And in Kwara, we are no exceptions, as farmers of our state play a vital role in ensuring food security, job creation, and economic stability. However, we recognize that our rural farmers face numerous challenges ranging from limited access to information, marketing efficiency, climate change impacts, amongst others. When we look at the rural areas, we discover that it's mostly the populace are mostly farmers. And when you look at these farmers, all what abounds in Nigeria as to what is happening in the rural settings are always affecting them. Most of the able bodies must have gone to the cities for the white-collar jobs, and those that are left behind are the old people. And whatever they are producing is always with hoes and cutlasses. And most of them, they don't have much access to information, all this IT. They cannot operate this telephone, talk less, or go of having email. They go to farm with their hoes and cutlasses every day, and that's what abound every day, and they remain poor forever. But with this digital solution now, we believe if you can go into the interior, that remote part of the state, and we try as much as possible to bring out the farmers out of their suffering by providing ways onto which they can do their farming with modern techniques. They may not even go into mechanized farming, but there are so many things they can use that will better their lot in terms of farming system. Give them irrigation, give them better seed to plant, monitor their activities, and you discover that you'll be able to promote them the better. Even the able body will also like to come back after realize that those at home are doing well. So, but there are so many challenges that are facing farmers. Whatever they produce, it is middlemen that are getting their reward. Inefficiency of marketing system in Nigeria is also affecting them. And that is what is killing the rural dwellers. So the digital projects represent a beacon of hope in addressing these challenges. It is a testament to our commitment to leverage technology and telecommunication to bridge the digital divide and to empower our rural farmers. Through this initiative, the participants will be equipped with tools and knowledge necessary to thrive in an increasingly interconnected world. Therefore, it is our belief that in the next 2 days, participants will engage in discussions, share insight, and develop strategies that will shape the future of agriculture in Kwara State. We have brought together experts in technology, telecommunications, agriculture to explore innovative solutions, identify best practices, ensure that our farmers are well connected, well informed, and well supported. Meanwhile, I wish to state the following areas where farmers can key in order to address the challenges of rural farming. By creating software that can assist farmers on their farming activities like planting and harvesting. Also, getting them exposed to the use of drone, which could help in wetting their crops, chemical application, and fertilizer application. And this drone is also designed in such a way that it can scare animals away from their farms via program noise and actions. Apart from the problem of kidnappers, we have problem with the wild animals and the Fulani people too. We have what they call sokomasun, where you will have a sticks dressed like man, you hang so that it will scare those animals. I think this one, instead of you going to farm, for those that will not be able to go to farm and come very late in the evening, you have sokomasun there. But all the same, you have to go very early to scare away those monkeys and every other thing. But with this drone, it will be able to scare them away far than even the level you think of. So all these things will help farmers and will be able to do more in their farming activities. Then you can have e-marketing or digital marketing and off-takers. Most of the problem of farmers after production, who are those, because of the rural areas, like inadequate social amenities, poor road networks, people will not go there, they just produce. And by the time they have wastage, they will limit their production. By the time there is e-marketing, people get to know that there is a source of supply of this particular material at this village. People will find a way of getting there. They can even transport to that area by themselves if they are connected internationally and even nationally. But because of that poor communication system, poor road networks, they remain poor because they cannot market their product. And there's poor storage facility to crown the problem. So because of this, if there is e-marketing or digital marketing and off-takers, it will boost the production in the rural area, and even the rural dwellers' life will also be. Then there's need for creation of POS. By the time you create POS for them, instead of going to they don't have bank where they can go. Instead of going to the CC for getting money, for getting cash, I think by the time they have POS in their areas, it will also boost their production. They don't have to travel far and waste their time that could have been used for productive purpose on the farm. Then we also suggest that there's need for sensitization and training of farmers on all year-round farming, such as irrigation. By the time, because most of the time, all what we have is rain-fed farming that we do. After the rain, you have to wait for another rain before you start planting. But if there is irrigation facilities on ground, it will boost their production because they can produce crops all year round. Most of the time, you discover that for yam, people are always waiting for the period of maybe by October, they start planting so that when it's on the field, by the time rain comes, it develops and goes. When the rain goes, they don't have anything to do again. We are harvesting, we are doing this, and later, nothing on the farm. But if there is presence of irrigation facilities for them, then their life becomes better because they'll be able to farm all year round and they'll be getting reward from their farming activities. Then we also seek for provision of improved seedlings for them, so that by the time what they are producing, whatever they produce, there will be increased productivity on their farming activities. We also suggest modern tools and equipment can also be introduced to the farmers at subsidized rates. So, in the spirit of collaboration and progress, I urge all participants to actively participate, engage ideas, and work together to create a roadmap for the successful implementation of the digital project for the ultimate goal to transform the lives of our rural farmers, enhance their productivity, and strengthen our agricultural sector. Indeed, I have full confidence that this workshop will serve as a catalyst for positive change, and I look forward to witnessing the transformative impact of the digital project on Kwara's agricultural sector. Together, we can empower our rural farmers and pave the way for a brighter and more prosperous future. Thank you all as we embark on this journey of innovation and growth with enthusiasm and determination. Thanks and God bless.
Can we do better than that? We appreciate the Honorable Commissioner, ably represented. The speech is very concise yet comprehensive in its content. I believe our participants have fully digested the information therein. And as we look forward to more engagement in this workshop, we believe that we'll work on implementing what has been suggested. Now, because of time, we have just 2 more presentations to round up for today. So we're going to make each of the presentations very short because we're supposed to leave here I don't want to mention the time, but you have the program with you. So we'll leave here before 5, inshallah. Well, you have the program, I believe. All right, so the next the next presentation is titled Innovative Approaches to Diversifying Farmers' Rural Livelihoods in Response to Climate Challenges, to be delivered by Dr. Khadijat Adua, Project Manager, Kwara State Agri Development Project, ADP. Is he here? You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol, the protocol that has been established. In fact, when we came here, I prepared one lengthy lecture, like 10 pages. But when I listen to what people say, they have made my work very easy, especially engineer from Bunkan. Then I want to thank the organizers for recognizing ADP. Look at all what we have been saying. I jotted, because of time, let me just let me give it. Because we have feed people, we are extension people, we too, we have become farmers. So look at what engineer from Nkan has said. A lot of things, a lot of technology. Even in the rural area, we are not getting services. He has mentioned just Igbaja down here. There is no service. Talk less of Kayama. My commissioner followed me to Kayama. In fact, the farms we visited was more than 20 kilometers from the town. I was even afraid that, say they will not kidnap this woman because it's far, far in the hinterland. So extension, thank you, Mr. Ajala. Thank you, Al-Hikmah University, for recognizing extension agents. Nothing can be achieved without extension agents. As we are now, there is nothing we can do. All these things we cannot promote it. The farmer that cannot get money to buy 1 kidney of rice, you are telling him to buy phone 70,000. So we still depend on our extension agent. And I want to assure you, engineer, I didn't fault you, you are right, because we have MD forum that we used to meet. There are some states, they don't have extension agent again. But Kwara State, we have extension agent. Because I'm an expert, I have my PhD in extension and rural development. We don't want extension to die. With the little effort of our governor, we know how to multiply it. Sorry, sir, I want to tell a story. There is one program now. You know, we are talking about marketing. There is one program that has been introduced by JACA. They call that program SHEP, Smallholder Empowerment Program. So that program, we were asked to go to the rural areas. We teach, there is no era of grow and sell again, but grow to sell. The farmers, we gather them, they were taught how to, you first go to the market. Look at the feasibility. What does the market want? What do they want? You don't just produce food that we waste. It was JICA that introduced that project. And we went, the farmers have adapted that project. Though in Kwara we are just starting with Ajase, but farmers that have started it long ago from Nasarawa, those farmers, in fact, one farmer was invited for one of our programs. He came there. You think he's a minister. Farmer that is talking of 50 million from what he's producing. So things have changed. The ADP, we were not supported by, because of that program, I was given an award because there was no money. Money was not attached to that program. But when I came I said, no, we have to do this program for the benefit of our people. So that era of producing and not selling is gone. So the farmers, they have to know the market before knowing what to produce. You don't just produce for wastage. You know, we are having a lot of problem in storage. Go to Pakta market. When, especially this era of mango, you will pity those farmers. They will sell like 2%, 80% will waste. They will throw it away. So the only way that they can mitigate that is through this SHEP approach. Know the market, what do they want? So thank you. So extension agent in Kwara is still there. And once again, I want to thank Al-Hikmah for recognizing ADP. Because anything you are doing and you don't carry out the extension agent, in fact, that program, we have K-leg. So thank you. So we have talked about climate. Because of time, we have had a lot about climate change. And we know how it has really affected agriculture in the area of crop productivity and livestock. Look at the type of rain we have today. This year, we gave out a lot of improved seed and fertilizer to farmers. Go to the farm. It is very, very poor due to the erratic rain. So what are we doing? I want to mention the mitigating. We know the problem of climate change. At least everybody in this hall know what climate change, how is that it has affected agriculture. So what we do is that early warning to the farmers. Early, you know, there is NIMET in Abuja. They normally give us the timetable, how the rain will look like. Though we send that through our MTRM, monthly training review. We assemble our extension agent, go to the farm, to each local government, go and tell the farmers when you will plant, what to plant, and when to plant. So that you will, those are one of two SRP that is seasonal rain production plan, agriculture. So when we teach the farmers like that, they know what to do. And the farmers that are close to us, they are, at least they are following it. Then what we do again to mitigate this problem of climate change, we give them early maturing varieties. You cannot just go and buy any varieties. We have been going on, we have been telling them, don't just go and buy any varieties. We have drought resistant, like this year, we gave them drought resistant and striga resistant varieties of maize. That one was given to us through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. There is one program, National Program for Food Security. So through that program, they brought the seed and the fertilizer, which we distributed to farmers. And if you know me in ADP, I always stand on my feet that we cannot give just anybody. Those farmers that are real into production. You were saying something the other time. You said it's those poor farmers that are producing food that we are eating, or not the commercial farmers. So we make sure that we reach out to those farmers. Then there is one thing we did this year that was very, very good. You know that we have limited number of extension agents. According to World Bank specification, one extension agent to 1,000 farmers, but we have inadequate extension agents. So the governor, our amiable governor, released, we demanded for some fund. So he released it for us. We now do MTP, monthly training, management training plot. So we look for a lead farmer in each of the local governments. We establish the MTP for them. You know, it's 50 by 50. So we demonstrate, we use maize, depending on the area. Like if Kwara South, we use maize. This place, Kwara North, Patigi, we use rice. Then Kayama, we use soya beans. So we demonstrated it to them. Then we are going to have field day. We don't leave those farmers. We have our extension agents. If you are not close to ADP, you will not know that we are still working, because I'm an extension agent and ADP should not die. So through that MTP2, we were able to describe we show them technology. Because if you look at our farmers now, the tonnage, what they record when they plant is always very, very low, due to the fact that they don't follow all the requirements that they're supposed to. So through this MTP, we are able to do it for them. We established the MTP in the localities that we chosen. We gave them all the input and everything. And the farmers, they are highly appreciative of our gesture. Then farmers, through the MTP, we said that farmers were enlightened on the good farm practices. Then what we are talking about climate change. We have a lot of problems, a lot of things that have contributed to those climate changes. Part of it is felling down of our trees. There are so many. So we encourage farmers, don't fell down our trees. There are other ways by which you can be using energy to do your cooking. There is one organization in Kaduna, he brought some stove that is it used just very little charcoal. So those are some of the things that we introduce to farmers. Then of recent, we have given them, that one we are still on the field, introduction of some PT variety of cowpea. That cowpea is very, very fine. They brought the seed from Zarias. We have gone around the local government. We distributed to the farmers. Early maturing is pod borer resistant, and it doesn't need much herbicide. Then smallholder, I've talked about smallholder. Then when my sister was talking, I was not here. He was telling us, in fact, I will get back to her to get those data. When you go out, you tell people that women are more into farming than the men. People don't want to believe. They don't want to believe. Whenever I say it, they will shout on me, but it's a reality. So those women farmers, they said, what are the innovations that we can use to counter climate change, the effect of climate change? the farmers, especially the women farmers, we do a lot of diversification for them through the use of we use this orange flesh was introduced. Those are some of the measures that were introduced to the farmers. They gave us vine, which we circulated. We made sure that with the help of our ears, they plant this orange flesh. This improved. So when they planted it, we now swung into action. We moved to the rural area. I was here. We slept like 2 days in Kayama. So we now assembled the women, the lactating mothers, how to diversify, how to use this. You don't only use, processing is very, very important in agriculture because it is to some extent, it will reduce post-harvest losses. So this orange flesh, we went to the farm, we teach them on diversification. Not only for orange flesh, we use cassava too. Diversification of this crop to make like confectionaries, to make you to process into cake, chin, bread, using the local method. We were in the field. We taught them, you don't need to have a gas cooker before you can do all these things. We taught them how to use our pot and use sand, pot in pot. Then you produce all these things. Those are some of the things that we are doing in Kwara ADP to mitigate the effect of climate change in the state. So our farmers, and presently we are planning something now. We know that we had a lot of the rain didn't favor the farmers at all. We are planning to do irrigation throughout we have identified some irrigation sites. We have identified some irrigation sites where irrigation can be carried out using crops like maize, cassava, majorly maize and rice, depending on the area. And I want to use this forum to tell the engineer, most of your technologies, please, we want women-friendly technology for the women. If you look at the urban, rural to urban migration, men migrate more than the women. The women, they cannot carry their children and be moving about. So they stay home with the children. So please give them small machines that they can handle. Then they talked about security. In that area, we are advocating for cluster farming, whereby we have a lot of, not even like 100 farmers in a cluster. That process is very, very good in at least this banditry and theft, because the farmers are many. They will just be rotating themselves. You go today, you go monitor the farm. So those are the things. There are so many because of time that we are doing in Kwara ADP to mitigate the effect of climate change. A lot of innovations we have been doing for the farmers. Once again, I want to thank everybody. Then I want everybody to note here that whatever you are doing, even if you get those that are from Kwara State, I know some people are not from Kwara State. When you get to your base, even whatever you want to do, come to ADP if you want to see results. So ADP is there. We have our extension agent. We are doing our work. Thank you.
I was just about to give Mama 5 minutes to round up, but she finished before her time. So let's appreciate her once again. She actually did not exhaust her whole time, but she spoke from her mind. We can see how interactive she was. And I must say that her presentation is one of the best that I've enjoyed so far. Now to the final presentation, which is a virtual presentation. Our distinguished speaker has been waiting for us online. We want to listen now to a lecture titled Sustainable Finance Solutions for Farmers and Agro-Producers, to be delivered by Dr. Mudashir A. Olaitan, former Director, Development Finance Office, CBN, Abuja. Doctor, over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, doctor, we can hear you clearly, sir. We can hear you
Okay,
clearly, sir.
good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Let me express my gratitude to the VC and management and the organizer of this program for inviting me. In order to save time, let me work on established protocol. So what we are discussing today is on sustainable financing of smallholder farmers and agri-producers. So my presentation is on.
Doctor, sir.
Hello. Okay.
Yes, in case you want to share your screen, we have made you a host now, so you can do that.
Oh, okay. I think
Yes.
for a bit. Okay, a moment, please. Let me share my screen. Okay. So, is it appearing there? Sorry, is my screen appearing?
Not yet, sir.
Okay, let me share. A moment. Sorry, let him do it from that end. I'm finding it difficult from here. Hello?
Yes, sir. We're with you, sir.
So I'm finding it difficult to share from this side.
Okay, okay. We already have it. We'll do it from our end, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I think I can go on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what we are discussing today is about financing of the agricultural sector. As we are all aware that Nigeria is the most populous economy in Africa, also in terms of the capacity of the economy itself, with a gross domestic product of almost 223 million people and 51 trillion naira. And we are also aware that agriculture is the driving force of the non-sector of the Nigerian economy because it employs over 70% and also contributes to 103% of the population. But the major problem we now have in Nigeria is that, okay, thank you. The major problem we really experiencing is that despite the fact that Nigeria has a large land area of almost 903,000 square meters of land, we still import food. And in addition to that, if you look at other countries, like even countries like Israel, Israel is just about 17,000 square meters. If you look at Netherlands, all these countries, they have very limited landscape, but they continue to export while we continue to import. There was a point in time that we spend almost 1 trillion naira annually on importing rice alone. We even became the largest importer of rice at of that time. But the major problem that has been plaguing the sector is the fact that having access to sustainable finance. While the population is growing, the production, the productivity is coming lower. And we observe that most farmers in Nigeria, they have less than 2 hectares of farmland. Most even are even below 1 hectare. So the average farm size is small. And this may be one of the reasons why most commercial banks do not really want to consider lending to the sector. Next slide. And what have been the major sources of finance to this sector, both smallholders and agri-producers? And I think we need to note that both smallholders and agri-producers, they work hand in hand together, especially at the village level. You see a farmer selling his cassava to a processor who turns it to gari. But virtually most of them, they are in the same ecosystem and face the same challenges in terms of financing. Usually, the major source of financing to them is starting with little capital, maybe just about 5,000, 10,000 naira before they move. But this is not enough to really fund the sector. Globally, it has been estimated that over 33 to 35 billion dollars is required per annum for funding of the food sector. In addition to that, for that bag, it's estimated that the funding gap in the sector is about $170 billion annually. So it's obvious that access to finance to this segment is very constrained. And from the financial inclusion statistics, it's also observed that over 41.6% of the adults are excluded, and 80% of these are residing in the rural areas. So it also further implies that the farmers, the agro-producers, don't really have access to financial services. Over the years, the total lending to the agricultural sector is usually below 5%. At a point in time, around 2010, the Central Bank set a target of reaching about 7% within the next 10 years. But there was noticeable progress in the sense that the financing of the sector increased to 6.16%. But if you look at it, it's not, most of the people that are affected are the large commercial farmers. And some of the programs that the Central Bank introduced to really address this access to finance are listed on the paper. We have the commercial agri, we have the Young Corporals program, we have non-export stimulation facility, youth entrepreneurship, TESA intervention, and the rest. Next, please. And what is also compounding the access to finance to the sector is also that even the government's budgetary allocation is under 3%. Like this, like in last year, it's about 2.8%. And we all are, most people in the agricultural finance sector, we know that Nigeria signed to the Maputo Declaration of 2003 and also the CADP, where all the AU countries agree that at least they must spend 10% of their budget on the agricultural sector to finance the agricultural sector. But like we said, in Nigeria, it's usually below 5%. Next, please. So, but it's obvious that if there's sustainable financing solutions to the farmers, agri-producers, the economy will benefit a lot because it will open a lot of economic opportunities, job creation, we will stop importing and the rest. So, but again, this financing has to be on sustainable basis. The World Bank defined sustainable finance as taking into cognizance environmental and social governance issues when making investment decisions in financing the agricultural sector. Whereas green finance, on the other hand, involves the direction of financial resources towards environmentally sustainable projects and investments. However, there are a lot of problems confronting the smallholder farmers, which is across the value chain. A lot of studies have been conducted, and many of these challenges have been enumerated. In fact, some of the past speakers have also mentioned some of them, but can we just mention a few of them now as we move forward? Can we go to the next slide? First, the financial service providers, commercial banks especially, they don't have appetite for the sector. What we are saying that they usually prefer giving loan to big commercial firms. For instance, instead of giving 100,000 to 10 farmers, they prefer to give 1 million to one farmer because the process of financing credit analysis is the same. So they feel that why waste the time on only one farmer? Then the lengthy foreclosures issues. That is, if cases are in court, it takes a long time for it to be settled out. So most of these things discourage commercial banks. We have underdeveloped financial infrastructure. Excuse me, this has been mentioned earlier on, that even in the villages, in the rural areas, the internet services are not there. They are not really working effectively as expected. Then the farmers lack collateral to really finance, to get facilities from the banks. Next, please. But again, are the banks running away from the farmers because they are unbankable or they don't pay loans? But it's not the case, because smallholder farmers, they are very trustworthy, they are honest, and they are very dedicated to their project, because anyway, the opportunities are limited. So the chances of even getting another job is very, very difficult. So most of them, they are honest, and they pay their loans, except there are challenges. And we've observed that those people who have gone into funding smallholder farmers and agri-processors, they've been recording almost over 90% repayment. So it means the smallholder farmers and agri-producers, they are credit-worthy people. So what is now the issue? We can see that Bamagona and LAP program, they've evolved various strategies which address some of the challenges confronting the farmers. And in order to further strengthen or increase access to credit to farmers, the central bank also introduced some programs like Nigerian incentive-based risk-sharing agricultural lending system, agricultural lending for farmers. What it does is that it has 5 pillars. It de-risks the lending to the farmers. And also there is insurance component, which also ensure the produce in the case there is a failure. So this further strengthens the confidence of commercial banks and other financial service providers to fund the sector. Then we have the Anchor Borrowers Program too. The uniqueness of the Anchor Borrowers Program is that first, the farmers are mobilized into groups. Thereafter, they are trained. When they are trained, their biometrics are collected, accounts are open for them. They have their phone. They access their input to their phones. And the payments are also made. So then, in addition to that, at the long run, when they pay, when they want to pay, I mean, in the long run, there's marketing support facilities which assist them in paying, in the sense that when they produce, they don't have problem of marketing. These are taken over by the anchors who pay to them, and they are able to pay their loans. In addition to this, also, what was also introduced is secure transaction and collateral registry. The essence of this is that most often than not, the farmer, they don't have physical access to borrow facility from the banks. But through this NCR, they can use their movable assets to borrow money from the banks. And the central bank and the bankers committee also have eye on the sustainable banking, in the sense that they ensure that they all agree that all banking facilities must be environmentally compliant. Not only looking at the risk, but they also need to look at the environmental impact of soil. So they always demand that, even if they always demand EAI, Environment Impact Assessment report, before they can grant facilities to the investors. But what has come to fore is that the smallholder farmers agriculture are bankable. But the problem with financial side providers has been that they've not been able to introduce friendly products that can meet the needs of the smallholder farmers and agri-producers. And because of this, many fintechs have come into the space now. We have Travel Greek, we have 1 Acre, we have Sahel Capital. What they are doing is that they've been able to produce a model like Bamagona too, that actually solve the problems of the farmers in terms of giving them hybrid inputs, in terms of marketing support, in terms of training, in terms of education, so that they are now much more aware of what to be done. And in addition to this, also, they've now been able to digitalize the financial services. Like under the Anchor Borrowers program, many of these things are done on internet. And what has been also been done is that even areas where the internet services are not very functional, there are offline platforms that were used to take their biometrics. So all these are contributed to improvement in access to credit for this group of investors. I think what needs to be done is to further strengthen the institutions, like what Dr. Mrs. Adua just said, that it's important that institutions that address and work with farmers, they need to be supported further, to be strengthened, so that the confidence can be deepened, so that all the other parties in the whole ecosystem of the farmers can have more confidence to be able to fund, to support in all ramifications. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you very much, Dr. Mudashir A. Olaitan, former Director, Development Finance Office, CBN Abuja. We really appreciate you for finding time to address this very distinguished congregation. And we thank you for your services, and we pray that next time when we call on you, you will avail us of your time and service. Once again, we appreciate you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You are welcome.
We're running against time. We're running against time, so our plan is to leave here by 4:40, and I believe we're still within time. While Dr. Olaitan was giving a speech, we had the honor to witness the entrance of our mother, Our Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Mrs. Nimotalai Nihiola Akanbi, OON, former Nigerian ambassador to the Netherlands. I have just been informed by the Vice Chancellor that she played a lead role in linking the university to the European Union and in bringing this program to Al-Hikmah University. So on behalf, thank you very much, ma. So on behalf of the founder of this university, the council, management, staff, and students, we thank you very much for your services to humanity and for honoring us with your coming, ma. We are in the question and answer session. I believe that having listened to series of lectures, certain questions would have agitated our minds. So if we can just take a few of them, and then I would invite our mama to give us special remarks. She was supposed to address us in the morning, but due to other assignments, she was unable to do that. So she's going to do that after the question and answer session. So let me invite any of the participants who has 1 or 2 questions to ask, so that we can do that in a couple of minutes and we round up before 5, inshallah. Anyone, please. Okay. Najimu, can you please? Someone should please take the microphone. So just tell us your name, the organization you represent, and your question, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Rafiat Ibrahim Temitokwe. I represent the Ministry of Communication here.
Okay.
My questions: what kind of communication is more effective to educate a farmer? More effective to educate a farmer? So the second question here is, what are the benefits of extension service to farmers?
Okay, that's taken. Let's go to the next participant.
My name is Alaji Musa Salah. I represent Moro local government. My question is, money spent by either federal government, state government, or local government on agriculture, is it supposed to be for social services or for commercial purpose?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Basis Shambola from the Faculty of Agriculture. I'm at Al-Hikmah University. My question goes to the DIGISOL project coordinator. Please, I want to ask that what is the, since we know that our major focus here are the farmers, and the farmers, they have families, especially children. So what is the project doing in trying to what, to make, to transfer this technology and this knowledge to what, to the children, especially the children of the farmers, in catching them young? Because most of our teenagers these days, our toddlers, they are versatile in using technology, especially the Android phones and the like. So what are we doing in also making them to catch this phone so that they can be part of the project in the nearest future? Thank you, sir.
Any other person? Okay. I don't know. Let me quickly take a recap of the questions in case the lecturers were not taking notes. The first person asked about what kind of communication is more effective to educate the farmers. That's the first question. The second question is, what are the benefits of extension services to farmers? I believe that's for Mama. So, who is taking the first one? Oh, it's for Mama? Okay, please, Ma.
Once again, good afternoon, everybody. I still remain Dr. Ahmed Khadijat, the Managing Director of Kwara ADP. Then, based on the research work, various research on communication, and the ones that we have even done in the best method to teach the farmers, where the best method to use to teach the farmers on the field where they can get it better is the best one. Number one is radio, because when you use television, in all of those will fail. But based on experience and based on research work, the best method is radio to reach out to the farmers. When you go to the rural area, you even see some people carrying their radio in their pocket. In the farm, they will put it, you know, they don't have access to television. So the best way is then extension, you say, they are good to go. So the second one is
benefit of the extension services to farmers.
Benefit of the extension services to farmer. In a simple way, all these things that we have discussed today, whether technology, everything is, yes, you know, I've said it, if you don't work with the extension agent, you cannot achieve result in agric, because it's the extension agent that will take all these messages to the farmers. My people are here, the extension agent, they are jotting all these things they have discussed. We have some now. During our MTRM, the monthly training review meeting, we are going to pass this message, and I used to tell the farmers, the extension agent is a must that you must disseminate it to the farmer. Then to add another thing, if you go to the town now, you find out that the gari you are eating is no more stone. There is no more stone. Stoneless gari is through the work of ADP, through the women in agriculture. That best care, that you are eating is the work of Kwara ADP. Although we normally we have some donors agencies that will come and train us, and we in turn we go to the rural farmers. So anything you want to promote, just look for the extension agent, come to Kwara ADP. If you have any program and you are not passing it through the ADP, the program will fail. That's why I commended Al-Hikmah.
Thank you very much. I told you earlier that Mama's lecture was the one I enjoyed the most. She speaks the Nigerian version of English language. All right, to the next. Yes, yes, sir.
To welcome our mother, our mentor, our Excellency, Ambassador Nimatalai Ninhiola Akambi. Let's clap again. You're welcome, ma. As I said in the morning, our mother was just coming from an event where she was awarded she received an award of excellence, as she is always excellence. So let's also clap for her for that and congratulate her. I just want to make a response to a question asked by someone which was not part of the response. And that is, what do we do regarding children of these farmers? Knowing that these children are the one, even at as toddlers, they can handle this thing anytime, from morning till night. So, and I want to say that it is very important. Many of these, our local farmers are, illiterate, but still we know that, but they can handle this thing. So, but bringing their children into this will assist much, because the children will be with them all through. And so in course of our training, in course of our activities, I think there's a need for us to also bring their children along, so that whatever we want them to know, if the children also have the knowledge and the skill, it will be easier for us to be able to impart on them. And that's why I want to make this point, that in our activities where we are going tomorrow, ASA or Ifelodun, let's ensure that we invite children of these farmers to our forum, so that our activities can have much impact. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Now to the next set of questions. Someone asked about the money spent by the federal government, the state and local government on agriculture. That is it supposed to be for social services or for commercial purpose? I think Prof may want to handle that. Prof, sir.
I think there's a microphone here. And after this, there's yet another question which the Vice Chancellor was trying to provide some answers, but it was specifically addressed to me. So I think I can take the two of them at the same time.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Chris Emenyono. Now, the first question, the money spent on agriculture, is this supposed to be a social venture or a commercial venture? Is it? Is that a question?
Yes, yes.
Good. If that is the question, I can tell you the answer is yes. It is supposed to be both social and commercial. Social in the sense that it is building human capital development, eventually creates a social development, creates a social transformation. I'll give you an instance. Your Vice Chancellor lectures in this university. They build the human capital, isn't it? The person who has developed the aircraft today, it is because of what he was taught from the universities. True or false?
True.
The person who has also developed the drone and all the technologies we're talking about is also somebody that was also taught in the university. Human capital is what we call knowledge economy. It is very key. It comes from the university. Now, these days, universities are not for free. People pay school fees. As much as the fees are subsidized by the federal government and the state government. But those in private universities, you pay because education is not free. So you could see that it could come from both sides. But what the government does to a large extent is for those in federal and state universities to subsidize the fees you pay. So federal universities, they'll tell you there's no tuition. And there's no tuition per se. They just, for somebody who should pay like 100,000 for one session, has he really paid fees? Because the fees have been subsidized by government. But the government is now saying that they cannot, it's part of why ASU is always struggling, part of the struggles. They say, allow the students to pay fees. And as you said, if we continue to pay fees, how many persons of the lower cadre can go to school? That has been what they've been saying. But the truth of the matter is that the government is still telling you that they, as of a truth, that they cannot they cannot continue to do what? To carry that burden. And so, which means you have to pay some fees. You can now see, in federal university, they are beginning to introduce fees. And the students will riot. After rioting, what can you do? You pay. So you could see the problem. The burden is becoming burdensome now on the government. What the costs are is not for us to talk about here. It's not our mandate. That's a business for another day. Now the second one, which is talking about the children of the farmers, what they are doing. As a teacher, I think it's important we reframe the question. It could have been, what would the project do? Because we are just reporting findings from the field. So this is what the project intends to do. Number one, we talked about the app that we're going to develop to address some of these climate change issues. It could be in terms of marketing, weather issues, a whole lot of them. They're all there because we've been able to get the feeling from the farmers, their problems, the finance scheme, everything. Now, what will be developed? What shall be developed and then later deployed to the farmers? The children of the farmers, the youths, while I was talking here, I did say that the younger ones are more exploratory than the older ones. And if you watch, the Nigerian farming population is aging. It's aging, and it needs replacement. And how can you now keep the youths? Is to make sure that agriculture becomes digital. You attract them. If it is the same, stay here and do this and do that by word of mouth, and the same old system and style, they won't get involved because that age has passed. And that's why technology is coming into it. And so, how are they going to bring them into it? How are we going to bring them into it is the apps that will be so developed. If you watch, I'll give you a typical instance. When the cell phone came, I don't know about what happens here, but I know it may be a similar situation. If your cell phone gets spoiled, you may need to travel some distance to fix it. But it's not like that anymore. If you observe, at your beck and call at the next street, somebody can actually, the basic problem on your phone, fix it. Because it was taught how to fix it. Isn't it? So the apps, the youths in each local governments will be taught on how to fix these apps. Repairs, if they have any issues. So that you don't need to start calling ABC, EU project to come and fix the app. In that way, you have brought, because you are going to nominate your youths from your communities that will be trained on how to use this app. They are from you. They are within you. So if there are issues, they can also address it. In that way, you could see that we are creating the window indirectly to bring them into agriculture. Because if agriculture is not digitalized, I bet you, if it remains the way it is, I bet you the productivity will continue to wane. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your time and for giving a very comprehensive response to that question. This brings us to the end of the question and answer session. And now we want to listen to our mother, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Mrs. Nimotalai Nihola Akabi, OON, former Nigerian ambassador to the Netherlands, to give us a special remarks at this workshop. Can we give her a round of applause as she makes her way to the microphone?
Sallu ala Nabi Karim. Sallu ala Nabi Mustafa. Madam founder of Al-Hikmah University, Ajia Oladimeji, the VC, active VC, very hardworking, committed, Professor Yusuf. Our guest, special guest I will call Prof. Chris Anayano from University of Agriculture, Imo State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, especially I want to recognize Mama there. Somebody is covering her face, but I can See, yes. I want to say well done, ma. Distinguished guests, EU representatives, the Vice Chancellor, I am happy to stand before you all on this significant occasion, which marks the dissemination of findings from the project titled Promoting Digital Solution for Farmers in Remote Communities to Adapt to Climate Change. I am deeply honored to be a guest in this gathering and share in the collective commitment to addressing a critical issue that affects us all. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to the organizers of this workshop, who have worked tirelessly to make today a success by advancing our understanding of the potential of digital solutions in confronting the challenges of climate change. Their dedication and hard work are truly commendable. The two-day workshop will be an eye-opener to current state of farmers in the rural community and a crucial step forward in the mission of transforming the lives of rural farming communities in Kwara State. The knowledge and insights derived from this workshop will undoubtedly guide our path forward in enhancing the resilience of our farmers in the face of an ever-changing climate. Moreover, this project has revealed that our rural farmers have been directly affected by climate change, resulting in financial losses. The primary contributors to these losses include excessive rainfall, high temperatures, and post-infestations. Recognizing these specific challenges is vital in our pursuit of climate-smart agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to use this medium to call upon all stakeholders, including government agencies, non-governmental organizations, local authorities, and the private sector to take these findings and recommendations to heart. Let us transform them into actionable initiatives that can propel our agricultural sector into a more resilient and prosperous future. Our collective aim is not just to adapt to climate change, but to thrive despite its challenges by promoting digital solutions, embracing climate-smart agriculture practices, and ensuring financial inclusion. We can pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future for our rural farmers in Kwara State. I eagerly anticipate the insightful discussions and recommendations that will emerge from this workshop. Together, let us harness the power of knowledge and collaboration to drive positive change and prosperity for our beloved state. Before I conclude, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the external donor who chose our institution to be part of this crucial project. Your commitment to addressing climate change and supporting rural communities in Kwara State is both commendable and greatly appreciated. Your generous support has made it possible for us to conduct this research, disseminate these findings, and work towards tangible solutions for our farmers. We recognize that without your partnership and funding, this project would not have been possible. Your belief in our institution's capacity and our shared vision for a more resilient agricultural sector is a source of inspiration. We are honored to be part of this collaborative effort to make a positive impact on the lives of rural farming communities in Kwara State. As we move forward, we are committed to ensuring that your trust in us is well placed. We pledge to use these funds to drive meaningful change and to promote digital solutions that will empower our farmers in adapting to climate change. Once again, on behalf of our institution and all the participants, on behalf of our institutions and all the participants in this project, thank you for your unwavering support and for being a valuable member of our team. We look forward to continuing this journey together as we work towards a more resilient and sustainable future for Kwara State. Thank you, and may our shared efforts bear fruit in the coming days. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Ma, for your speech. We are glad, and of course, for your support, your unwavering support for the institution and for the state at large. Distinguished participants, we have spent our day, listening to speeches after speeches, and I believe that we have come to the end of the program. But before we round up, I've just been informed that Dr. Mudashir Eolaitan, who is a finance expert, would want to address one of the questions raised on financing. So if Doctor is still with us, he has the floor to quickly address the question in 3 minutes so that, he's no longer on with us, okay. So with this, we have come to the end of the program. Thank you very much for your attendance. We hope to have you here with us tomorrow as early as 8 a.m. The program will start as scheduled, and we have arrays of activities tomorrow. Thank you once again, and God bless you all. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us so that we can witness tomorrow and have a fruitful deliberation. Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, so please, just as we did in the morning, participants are encouraged to please move to the photo shoot area so that we can have a good picture with Her Excellency, our mother.
I hope you're doing good today. Don't give up, it's on the way. You have to be grateful. Don't worry, Allah will come through. Learn